Jagannatha. Okay,
Jai
so
Jagannatha.
we are talking today about the Jagannatha temple in very nice village in Orissa. What is the name of the village?
The name of the village is Athagarh.
Athagarh. Okay.
Yeah.
So Athagarh, correct me if I'm wrong. It means it's a town, the place where we get something very valuable.
Yeah, the literal meaning of Athagarh is like a city of 8 forts.
Oh,
Like
okay. So it's not
Gad
Artha.
means, yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
Artha. No, it's not Artha. Attagar.
Yeah,
Attagar.
Athagarh. Yeah.
Okay, now I understand. Attagar. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell the story because I'm very eager to hear it.
Yeah. So, Jai Jagannath. So, we will be talking about like Jagannath temple, very famous Jagannath temple in that particular locality. The name of the village, town we can say, like Athagarh. And as I have told, like Athagarh literally means like a town of 8 forts, or the previous king was ruling there in Athagarh. Perhaps he has 8 forts nearby. So that's why he has named the place of that particular locality as Athagarh. So it is like 50 kilometers from Bhubaneswar, which is the state capital of the state of Odisha. And it is like some 110 kilometers from Jagannath Puri. And there are so many temples in that particular village, but like we can say the Grama Devata, the predominant deity of that particular village is Jagannath only. So the temple, if we will see, the temple architecture is very much similar to that of Jagannath Puri, and the rituals also followed there is as per the rituals followed by temple management of Jagannath Puri also. So and like festivals, bigger festivals is like Rath Yatra only. As in Jagannath Puri, Rath Yatra is very famous. It is very famous in Athagarh also. So I have been to that temple quite many times, and when I initially went there, I have asked the, like you can say chief priest. Like here we are saying like Badagrahi or Mukhya Pujari. So I have asked about the like story behind construction and the pastime of deity of that Jagannath temple. So he was telling me like very briefly about when it was built and how Jagannath came here. So he was telling like personally I know, like he was telling like he knows like from last perhaps 6 generations of his ancestors were serving as head pujari or chief priest in that particular temple. So it was like in generation wise, whoever is coming in that line of family or succession of the family, they are acting as the head pujari of that particular temple. So he was telling like once in a battle, perhaps once in a battle, the king of Athagarh has helped Gajapati Maharaj, the king of Puri, in a battle to win that battle against their like enemy. So out of love for the king of Athagarh or respect for king of Athagarh, the king of Jagannath Puri, the Gajapati Maharaj, then he gifted one Jagannath deity, and it was not like some ordinary Jagannath deity. We know, like while entering into Jagannath Puri in the east gate or Purvadwar, there is one Patitapavan deity. So anyone who will not be able to go inside the temple campus, or who are not allowed to go inside the temple campus, so they can have the darshan of Patita Pavan, and they can pay their obeisances there, and it is not similar to the main deity of Jagannath temple. It is there in the east gate. East gate in the right side only. Patita Pavan deity is there. So it was that Patita Pavan deity that was being gifted by the king of Puri to king of Athagarh. So the king of Athagarh was bringing that particular deity from Jagannath Puri to Athagarh, and in between that there is a place like it is called as Megha. It is something like 20 kilometers away from Athagarh. So at that particular place, while the king of Athagarh was bringing the deity, that deity stopped there, and he was not moving at all. So the king tried too much to make the deity move and bring it to Athagarh, but the deity was not moving at all. So then the deity thought, maybe I have then the king thought, maybe I have committed some offense, or I have done some mistake. So for this reason the deity is not moving. So he then remained there only, like at that particular place for 2 days, and the king of Athagarh informed these things to Gajapati Maharaj. Then Gajapati Maharaj and the head priest came personally to this particular place called as Megha. They and the king of Puri, the king of Athagarh, and the head priests of Jagannath Puri, they prayed to Patitapavan deity to not remain there, because it was at that time it was a very deep forest, and it was also like out of the controlling area of Athagarh king. So then the deity was famous in the name like Atala Jagannath, means the Jagannath who is not moving, who cannot be means displaced, or who is unshakable. So Atala Jagannath, his name came like this. So he was very famous, and he was very, like you can say, Pratyaksha Devata. He is very famous in this particular locality. Then the deity, after being worshipped and after being prayed by both the kings and the head pujaris of Jagannath, then he came to Athagarh, and the king of Athagarh personally built a temple which was not being previously built for that particular deity. And we can see in maximum temples in Odisha, there is like Chaturdhamurti, like 4 deities are there. In any Jagannath temple we can see, like the deity of Jagannath will be there, Balabhadra will be there, Subhadra Maharani will be there, and Sudarshan will be there. 4 deity will be there on the Ratnavedi or the altar. But here we can see in this particular temple only Jagannath is there, and his Utsav Vigraha, or the deity which is taken for various festivals, like Madan Mohan is there, and the art form of Subhadra Maharani and Baldev. It is in Odia, it is called as Pattachitra. So it is a very traditional way of painting deities on a particular sheet of not exactly paper, but some kind of material which is very traditionally used even in Jagannath Puri. So it
Usually,
is painted
yeah,
on that,
yeah.
and it is
Usually,
kept.
it's made with silk or
Yeah,
cotton,
silk.
silk or cotton, and it is there is one layer of a type of plaster, so
Yeah,
it becomes very smooth. So the Patachitra
yeah,
is yeah, it's a very traditional art form. So they have
yeah,
the Patadia together with Patita Pavana. They have Patadia of
yeah,
Balabhadra and Subhadra and Sudarshan.
yeah, yeah. Shudarshan. And the deity now, it is not called as Athagarh Jagannath. It is called as Atali Jagannath. So it
Patali.
is being, yeah, like
Okay.
in rhyme form or in local language, they have made that Atala Jagannath into Atali Jagannath. So the temple name is also Atali Jagannath temple, and the deity's name is also Atali Jagannath.
I see.
And
Okay.
and while Rath Yatra will be done, then there will be two Rathas here, like one for Jagannath alone, and another Ratha for the Patachitra, like for
Mm-hmm.
Baldev and Subhadra. Balabhadra and Subhadra will be seated on another Rath. So the two chariots will be there while the Rath Yatra festival will be going on in Athagarh. And I have asked also, like since I have been there during the time of Navakalevar in 2015, so I have asked there, like what is the exact ritual they are following in Athagarh for Navakalevar. So he was telling, like, it is traditionally, it is the ritual in Attali Jagannath temple, like they will be provided with the log of food that has been collected by the king of Puri for Navakalevar of deities in Jagannath Puri. That particular log of food, a piece will be given to temple in Athagarh for the Navakalevar of deity in Athagarh. So it is the same log of food used for making the new deity in Puri and in Athagarh also. And similarly also they are saying, like Patita Pavan deity, it is not changed. Like in Jagannath Puri, the Patita Pavan deity, so far as I know, I don't know exactly, but I think during the Navakalevar, the Patita Pavan deity is not going to be changed.
No,
But
because
here,
yeah, because it's not made of wood.
yeah, yeah,
It's made of Juna and other pure substances, but it's not made of wood.
substances, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it is not a portable deity also. We cannot
Exactly, you cannot
take,
move it. You cannot
yeah,
move it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So, but here the deity is being the material for construction of the Vigraha will be given by the king of Puri
It's Daru.
only.
It's Daru. Daru.
Yeah, Daru.
Okay.
So from that Daru, here also the deity is made, and here also there is one Koili Vaikuntha, means the place
Yeah.
where the previous deity is being buried.
Yeah.
So here also it is there in the temple premises only, and all the things like the Snana Mandapa and Mukti Mandapa and during Chandana Yatra like what the particular ritual like Chapo um, ritual, like they will take the deity Uscha Vigraha to that particular pond, and they will have a they will make the deity sit on a particular boat, and they will move
Chandanyatra.
move
Yeah.
the boat in the, yeah, move the boat in the pond only. So that ritual is followed here also.
Excellent.
But unfortunately now, since it is in a distance place from town, and traditionally people are not following much about what is going on in Jagannath Puri. So now the prasadam is not that much famous or not available for each and everyone who is going to the temple. But they are offering their one particular plate they are having. They are offering food in that particular plate to Jagannath, but only that much what is required for the deity they are preparing that much only. They are not preparing like abundant prasadam for the general public or
I have
in a
one
commercial.
question. Yeah, I have one question. This
Yeah.
Atali Jagannath temple,
Yeah.
do they have the Parshva Devatas? You know, like other smaller shrines inside the temple, like
Yeah.
for example
Yeah.
Vimala, because Vimala is closely associated with the Mahaprasad tradition in Jagannath Puri.
Yes, yes, yes. That thing also I just wanted to speak.
Excellent.
There are so many Parshva Devata temples are there. Like so far as I have remembered and I have visited, like Bimala Devi is there and Lakshmi Devi is there. And one good thing I have seen in that particular temple, which I can relate now, like we have usually seen like in Jagannath Puri also, in front of the altar or in front of the predominant deity Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, there is like Garudji is there, like the deity of Garuda is there. But here Garuda is also there, and at the, like you can say, face to face where Atali Jagannath is there, in the opposite side there is Shiva Mahadev temple.
Wow, nice.
In
Excellent.
in that campus only, in that boundary only.
Yeah.
So, and I have visited so many times during the Sandhya Aarti, the evening Aarti. So I have seen there the like in ISKCON temple we have seen, before starting the Aarti we will take the permission of Prabhupada, and then we will start Aarti. And after offering that any particular like item or substance to the deity, we will offer that we will offer the remnants of that offering to Prabhupada. We have seen that particular ritual followed in ISKCON. And similarly also here I have seen the lamp or the incense stick or like the chamara or the alota, whatever they will offer to Atali Jagannath. After offering it to Atali Jagannath, the Pujari will immediately offer it to Shiva Mahadev. And there is a very nice arrangement of people how they should sit while the Sandhya Arati will go on. They will sit in two lines. Like I have seen in South India also, people will sit in two lines, and in between the two lines there will be a space, vacant space. Like the females will be in one line and the males will be in one line. So it is because people should not come in between Jagannath and Shiva Mahadev.
Excellent.
So it will be easier for the pujari who is doing the aarti to directly take the darshan of Shiva Mahadev very easily. Nobody will be obstructing that particular darshan. So even the management, temple management will tell people to sit in two lines only, so that it will be easier for them to go with all the aarti. And very nice kirtan is also done there. People are like, we can say, they are not completely dedicated towards that temple, or they are not living in that temple, but during the Sandhya Aarti, whoever is having any work, they will leave that work and come to the temple, and they will play the so much instruments they will play, and they will have the aarti, and it is a bigger aarti. Like it is very very like purifying and very impactful aarti also. So that environment and that particular aarti, it is very much impacting for me at that time. So I used to go in Sandhya Aarti time. And I had also prasadam there, though it is not very opulent and bigger like Jagannath Puri, but it is still good, and in its own way it is very purifying and relishing for me. So But I have not like involved in all the rituals and all the festivals because I am not living there all the time. So whenever I am coming, I am going there. And usually in Rathayatra I have been there, and Rathayatra it is like a huge festival, and in the locality people used to come to Athagarh and have the darshan of Atali Jagannath, because Odisha, like people have the belief, like even in scriptures it is written like Rathetu Damanam Drishta Punarjanmana Vidyate. So if one is seeing Jagannath on the chariot once in his lifetime, then he is not going to get another birth. So for that, for the sake of that belief, or for the sake of love for Jagannath, people used to come to Athagarh for having darshan of Atali Jagannath during the car festival. So, like it is a very nice place and nice experience one will be having if he is coming to Atali Jagannath and having the darshan. And even nearby there are so many temples, like one Shakti temple is there, Bauti temple is there. She is very famous in Athagarh. And one Shiva temple is also there, one Hanuman temple is also there. And like so many places are also there, like one can visit also, like Ansupa Lake, it is nearby only. And one can visit Dhabaleshwar temple also, it is nearby only 20 kilometers away from this particular temple. So many like auspicious and good places are there to visit at the same time, because
one question. I have one question.
yeah.
What about the who is allowed to enter the temple and get the darshan? Everyone is allowed, or are there any restrictions, for example, based on birth?
It is there in like almost all the temples in Odisha. They are not allowing, like mainly if we will see, they are not allowing Muslims. But I have seen in Athagarh there are so many Muslims. But perhaps outwardly now it is not very much visible to distinct someone like he is a Muslim or he is a Hindu. So even when we were child, our Muslim friends are going with us to the temple and having the darshan, having the prasad there, because outwardly no one can recognize them as they are Muslim or not. So, but if someone, we can see that someone has been putting the attire, or he can be outwardly recognized as a Muslim, then the pujari is not going to like allow him to go into the like into the sanctum sanctorium. He can visit into the temple campus. He can have the darshan of Shiva Mahadev. He can have the darshan of Vimala Devi and Lakshmi Devi also. He can circumambulate the temple also, but maybe he will not be allowed to enter into the sanctum sanctorium. So, and so far as
the Garbhagriha usually is only the pujaris can go inside, but also the kirtan hall, they are not going to be allowed.
Yeah.
I see. Yes. But what about what about foreigners who appear to be foreigners by it's easy to spot them. It has nothing to do with one's devotion or belief, but definitely there can be some discrimination based on the appearance.
Yes. So far as this temple is concerned, this temple is not having a much bigger management trust or something like that. So though they are strict regarding whatever is followed in Jagannath Puri, they also try to follow that here also. But since there is no such like bigger management committee is there, only if at any time you are going to that temple, then the pujaris and the cook will be there inside the campus. No one else will be there, like any political person or management associated personalities are not going to be there.
Also,
So maybe
maybe also there have never been any foreigners visiting the temple, probably.
yeah, foreigners is visiting to the temple, and any foreigners, if he will come, he will see the temple from the outside only, because someone who is not knowing Jagannath, or he is not having any
No,
like
I'm
what.
not talking. I'm not talking about the tourists, because they are not going to Athagarh. Tourists
Yes.
are going to touristic places. But
Yeah, I have also seen, like, tourists, if they will come, they will only be interested for towards the architecture of that temple,
yes, but what
not to
about
the deity of.
yeah? But
Yeah.
what about foreign devotees? Because lots of foreign devotees go to Jagannath Puri.
Yes, yes,
They
yes, yes.
definitely they're not interested in the architecture. They're interested in
Architecture.
Jagannath.
Yes, yes.
So, but it looks like nobody came yet to Athagarh.
Yeah, nobody came yet, or I have not asked about this thing to the temple
Okay.
pujari, or yeah, I can ask also, like,
Yeah,
if they
maybe
are allowing.
we'll find out. We'll have a second episode of this video. So
Yeah, yeah,
we'll post the photos also of the temple,
yeah,
and
yeah,
we'll get more information, which will
yeah,
be beautiful, because I know there are many devotees of Jagannath who are not Indian appearance.
origin. Yeah, Indian origin or appearance. Yeah.
Appearance, because you see sometimes I remember a famous a famous incident where the Rajguru of Nepal
Yes.
actually went to the Sri Mandir in Jagannath Puri, and the police stopped him from entering because he didn't look Hindu enough. He
Yeah,
was looking a
yeah,
bit Chinese. So
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
was a big story came out that
yeah.
that I think that policewoman was fired or suspended at some point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
At the same time, when I went myself, I went to Guruvayur, which is
yeah,
in Kerala.
yeah.
And several other places. That was in '86 when I was traveling around India by myself, and I
Yes.
looked very much Indian. So
Yeah, yeah,
I was going practically everywhere. I went into this Guruvayurappa temple. I went well, Udupi. There is no problem. Everyone is allowed.
allowed. Yes.
Then I went into Kashi Vishwanath.
Yeah,
I went to Dwarkadish in Dwarka. I
yeah.
went to several other temples where usually apart from Lingaraj in Bhubaneswar, where
Mm-hmm.
actually Lingaraj pulled me inside. So it was not my
Mm-hmm.
choice. But
Yes,
those other temples I went, and
yes.
because I didn't look particularly Western,
Mm-hmm.
I could go inside and normally. But
Yes,
what
yes.
if someone comes, with blonde hair? That would be
Mm-hmm.
a more difficult situation. But
Yes, yes,
let's see. We can ask the Mukhya Pujari and see
yes.
what is their say. Maybe we can give a copy of my Puri book, so he can be more encouraged.
More
Who
encouraged.
knows?
Yes,
Who knows? Who
yes,
knows? Okay, so another question is,
yes,
I am very interested in this name of the local deity, the Patali Jagannath.
yes,
I know that in several temples there is a connection with Patala.
yes, yes,
So in some places, like for example in Baleshwar, near Puri, between Puri and
yes,
Kannad, the Baleshwar
yes.
temple there is a temple of Shiva that is built near a portal to Patalaloka.
Okay.
There is a tradition of several kupas, like wells or tunnels or passages that lead into the underworld, the other dimensions. Do you think that there is some connection with this name, Patali Jagannath, with this kind of idea, or is just coming from something else?
Like I have heard about like Patali Jagannath, one temple is there in the Sonpur district in Odisha. And why the name came like Patali Jagannath? Like I have heard the story like this, like while Kala Pahada, you must be knowing, like very famous. He has he has attacked Jagannath Puri. So at that time, the devotees of Jagannath in Jagannath Puri, they have taken the deities of Jagannath to Sonpur district. Sonpur, perhaps like 250 or 300 kilometers away from Jagannath Puri. Not even 300, perhaps it is 400 kilometers away from Jagannath Puri. So they have shifted. They have shifted that Jagannath deity to Sonpur district, which is previously called as Subarnapur. So now it is called as Sonpur. So they have taken deity to that particular district. It is a very, like till now also it is very like forest area and very unreachable area. So they have taken.
It's not near Chilika.
No, it is more nearer to Sambalpur.
Okay. So it's
western side.
Western side.
Western side of Odisha.
Okay.
So they have taken the deity to that place and they have buried the deities of Jagannath under the earth. To like perhaps for like 12 or 13 years they have buried the deities there, and the temple was closed at that time in Jagannath Puri.
Maybe after they were not buried but hidden underground, which could be
hidden underground.
In a chamber, in a tunnel, in a particular chamber, not covered with soil,
not covered with soil. So after the threat was gone, or like situation became normal, so they have again brought those deity from the underground, and again they took the deity to Jagannath Puri and re-established them. So to remember that particular incident, or to give value to that particular Leela, so there is a temple where similar to Jagannath Puri, they have also a temple there in Sonpur, and he is called as Patali Jagannath.
I see.
And another incident also there, like I have heard, like I have been to that particular place in the district of Koraput. Koraput is like something 400 or 500 kilometers away from Jagannath Puri. So there is one very big temple, and in southern Odisha, perhaps it is considered like a dham only in southern Odisha. So there is a place called as Savara Shikhetra.
Yes, Savara Shikhetra. Okay.
Savara Shikhetra. So it is similar construction and similar architecture as that of Jagannath Puri, the temple is, and the deities are also Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra and Sudarshan. So it is called as Savara Shikhetra because people, I have asked there also, like the priest there, they have also told the similar kind of story, like while Kalapahada was attacking Jagannath Puri, they have brought deities from Jagannath Puri to Savara Shikhetra, and even he had shown me and he had told me like this is the particular place from which a tunnel is directly connecting Savara Shikhetra to Jagannath Puri. Like they have a tunnel through which Jagannath was shifted to Savara Shikhetra.
In fact, if it is, it could be interesting because even in Europe, in ancient times, there were lots of tunnels going, even many hundreds of kilometers from England to Turkey.
Yes, yes, yes.
Very long and complicated tunnels. Practically all of these tunnels have been closed because the
Yes, yes.
government didn't like it. But there is especially a very strong tradition, ancient tradition, especially in Celtic regions, culture,
Yes,
that they were called the little people,
yes.
like fairies, gnomes, and hobgoblins, and all sorts of strange beings that were living underground.
Yes, yes.
And we can give Vedic names to these people, such as Yaksha, Naga, and even Rakshasas, because there are different types of nature, people, but they were all very powerful, and they could travel between dimensions. So they were able to change their appearance, change their form. So I think this was a very strong knowledge in the past, and it has remained also in the Hindu tradition. And I think these Patala places that are connected with tunnels, underground tunnels, they are extremely interesting because they could be very much untouched.
Yes, very much untouched.
Because the Muslims didn't get there.
Yes, yes.
During the Muslim invasions, and especially this Kalapahara, as you mentioned, many temples were destroyed.
Yes.
Including in Orissa. In Orissa, there is this general idea that Bhubaneswar was a city of 5,000 temples, something like
temples,
that.
Yes, yes.
We hardly find a small number that are still working.
Yes.
And even little more are still existing but not working anymore, damaged. But another great number were totally destroyed.
Yes.
But because they were above the ground. But I believe that if we did some research underground, if we were allowed to do it, because probably we were not allowed. Not by
we will not. Yes.
But we could find extremely interesting things.
Yes.
This Patali Jagannath is very, very interesting. Can be also very interesting for a lot of people who are talking about the ancient astronauts, the aliens, alien gods, and everything. So I think it could be really, really interesting. Okay, sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, this is like regarding Athagarh Jagannath in Athagarh. So this much only I have to speak or I have to tell. But as you have have the desire to know more about Patali Jagannath, maybe I could go there, because the place where I am working now, from that place, Suvarnapur district is not that far. So it is like nearer. I can get the information regarding Patali Jagannath temple there in Suvarnapur district.
So we can connect the two traditions, maybe, we can find out. Also, you were saying you wanted to talk more about the other smaller temples inside the compound, like Vimala and Lakshmi, and because
Hanuman temple.
But especially Vimala and Lakshmi are extremely important in Sri Mandir in Jagannath Puri.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what they're doing? They're offering the prasad to Vimala like in Puri, or they
Yes.
separate?
Yes. The same ritual they are following in Atali Jagannath temple also. They will first offer the kitchen is nearby only. Though it is not a very big campus, it is a very smaller one. It is the campus is very smaller in comparison to Jagannath Puri. But the position of the pastor devatas are similar to Jagannath Puri only. Like we can see while going to Jagannath Puri, in the left side only Bimala temple is there, and in the right side Mahalakshmi temple is there. From our point of view, from Jagannath's point of
It's
view,
the opposite.
in the Jagannath's right hand side there is Bimala temple, and in the left hand side there is Mahalakshmi temple. So same kind of situation is there in Atali Jagannath temple also. But now perhaps they are not taking the prasad after offering it to Jagannath to Bimala temple. They are only offering it to Jagannath, and perhaps they are taking it to Shiva Mahadev, showing it to Shiva Mahadev,
I
not
see. I see. Not to
practically
Vimala.
taking it to Shiva Mahadev.
I see.
Because Shiva Mahadev's temple is a smaller temple. But it is exactly in front of Atali Jagannath.
I see.
Like literally Atali Jagannath and Shiva Mahadev, they can see each other.
Harihara.
Yeah,
Okay.
Harihara. They can see each
Nice.
other.
Very nice.
And it is also like it is. I have realized this thing now only. People who will be going to that campus at the entrance of the like not exactly Purva Dwar is not open for everyone, but the Uttara Dwar, the north gate is open for everyone. So in the north gate only there is deity of Hanumanji. So everyone who will go there first offer obeisances to like Hanumanji, then he will enter into the campus. After entering into the campus, there is a big Tulsi Maharani plant is there. A big what we can say, a base is very bigger. Of the plant is very bigger base it is having. So then the people or devotee will pay their obeisances to Tulsi Maharani. Then they will directly go to Shiva Mahadev temple, because it is like in Puri there is Aruna Stanga, we are paying obeisances before going to Patita Pavan, we are paying obeisances there. So they will be paying obeisances to Shiva Mahadev and offering some, like they are taking flowers and milk.
Actually, Puri is on a larger scale. So usually the people who go to visit the Jagannath temple first, they go to see Lokanath Mahadev.
Yes, Lokanath temple. Yes, should go. But people are not going.
Well, they're supposed to. It's like so many other things are supposed to be happening that they're not happening. Like, for example, we know that the Devadasi Seva, the Mahari Seva was extremely important. And now, like, okay, nothing is happening. And also so many other sevas were discontinued. And then some sevas are not done very properly. Like, for example, I remember the last Navakalevara in Puri was a total fiasco.
Yes.
It, unmitigated disaster. So probably it was not advertised so much, but there was like these yatri sevakas made a lot of mess, and they didn't follow any rule, and the deity cracked and broke apart when they were shaping it. Anyway, so the problem is that usually we need to keep in mind the ideal. What one is supposed to do. What is the ideal thing? Then we can do. We can adapt. This is a good thing of Hinduism, that it can be adjusted in the application You know, the principles should always remain the same, but the application
Same.
can vary depending on Desha Kalapatra, people and time and circumstances. Like for example, entering the Jagannath temple, the first deity you find in the Mahishipahach, I think is exactly Mahadev. So first of all, when you get inside after Patita Pavana, you have to this 22 steps stair. So you are going in front of Mahadev. And outside is the Aruna Stamba, and the Garuda Stamba is inside. So even the Sri Mandir is like a small town in itself. So I think that also this Atali Jagannath could be pretty much the same concept.
Concept is same.
Excellent. It's extremely interesting and very inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful knowledge and experience. So, anything else you want to add specifically to this, this presentation?
I just wanted to speak, like, since the Gaudiya Math is nearby only, like it is something 2 kilometers from that temple.
Jai Shri Damarad Gaudiya Math.
Jai Shri Damodar Gaudiya. Narayan Maharaj Gaudiya Math. So usually,
how far is that?
2 kilometers only.
2 kilometers. So walking distance.
So people from like Gaudiya Math and from ISKCON, people used to go to that temple much because they are very much acquainted with devotees of Gaudiya Sampradaya.
Excellent.
So even the pujaris knows about Gaudiya Math and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all that philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So they are very familiar to that.
Excellent. That's also very
and I didn't know about all the rituals what they are following, but I hope perhaps all the temples like Athagarh Jagannath temples rituals are very much connected to Bhauti temple, like the Shakti temple there, and Raghunath temple. Raghunath temple is also there. Like it is within a distance of 1 kilometer, all the temples are there. And in villages, we know like all the temples rituals are connected to each other. Like they have a very good cooperation among themselves, like how to carry out or execute all the festivals and rituals as for the management or tradition of all the temples. So all the temples are connected. I can get more information regarding this.
That's very nice. Yes.
Yeah, because so many, and these temples are not like some recent temples built some years before. These are very, very old temples. Like minimum Raghunath temple is perhaps like some 1,000 years before it was built, because it is very old, and to take care of that temple itself is a challenge. And Bhauti temple, like Mother Bhauti is like the Grama Devati of that particular place, Athagarh. So maybe they are connected to each other. I don't know. I have never asked the pujaris there. But if I will ask elaborately, then they can tell me about what is the relation among all the temples.
Okay, so maybe next week you can. You can go.
If I can, personally I can go.
You can go. You can take some photos, so we can share with people. Jagannath devotees. So okay, thank you. That was a very nice presentation. And if we don't add anything else this time, we need invite our followers, YouTube followers, to the next video, which will be even more interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Jai
Thank you.
Jagannath. Jai
Jai
Jagannath.
Jagannath.